and welcome back to Gordo's Games. It's Gordo here bringing you some more Digimon TCG content. So today I'm bringing you a deck profile. Today? I've been doing it a lot. I know, it's the end of an era of 1.5, BT4's on the horizon. So I'm kind of getting these in place to see where I feel decks have, from my point of view, where they've reached their penultimate, they're where I think they need to be. So I'm here to share, If you like the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications so you know when my content goes live for you. As always, let's go straight into the deck profile. Oh wait, what colour is it? It's blue. Okay, so here we are. Let's go straight into it. So the deck, I'm not going to go into too much details, some of the majority of it, because it's all very straightforward. I'll just go through some of the tech pieces and that are in here. Starting with the Digi-Eggs, as always. So, run 4 of Upamon. Generally a good blue Digi-Egg. If your opponent has a card with no Digivolution sources, when attacking you get to draw a card. Really good, really strong. Lets you add the cards to your hand, try and filter through your deck till you get the pieces you need. And forces your opponent to play slightly different if they don't want to give you free draws on swing. And then we run a 1 of Demi-Vmon. Is this Imperial? That's the wrong one. Is this All Force? Maybe. Demi-Vmon gives us that opportunity where if we do unsuspend, we get that 1000 DP, and sometimes it can be relevant and it can come off in this deck. So that's right, it's in there as a one-off. The last Digi-Egg really doesn't matter, to be honest, it's just there to fill it out. And it's 5 Digi-Eggs. We run 13 rookies, starting with 4 Gomamon. Gomamon is generally a really good blue Digimon, just purely on the basis that it's on deletion gain 1 memory. It can force your opponent to play around a card, not attack over it. It's not quite as strong as Retaliation, whereas it's going to take a body with you, but you can potentially take the turn from them. If they've overextended, they've gone down to 0, and they don't pay attention to this and they swing into your body, you take the turn from them. If you have a memory tamer down, it resets your 3 happy days. Obviously, ideally starting a turn on 1 isn't the best, but with blue, you can make use of that with your Hammer Sparks, things like that. So we run 4 of this. Then we run a 2 of Gobamon. When attacking, trash the Dissolution card at the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon with a level of 5 or less. Can come up just to get rid of some of those nuisance cards. Let's say, for instance, in black, having the Kakemon before they get to the Ragnar, so they're gaining memory. Having the Gigimon in red that's giving them the buff, having the Upamon under yellow, which is giving them more draws, so they're cycling through the deck. Just generally things like that. So it can come off. Otherwise, it's just another rookie. And then 2 of Gobamon. This one always comes off, without question. This one could easily become 4, but I do like the choice of having between the 2 of them, because I'm not always going to play play these. I'm going to have to Digivolve at some point. I just think having a 2-2 split works nicely. But on play, trigger draw 1. It's a really good solid card. And we run 3 Elecmon. It's a vanilla, 2 cost to play, and 0 cost to a Digivolve, 3k body. It's just generally good. It helps with the memory choke, helps with you plussing on your board just to go that much wider if you can do so, if they give you a bit of memory. So it's just good. And the same reason for that, we have 2 Gomamon. Vanilla, memory choke, cheap, effective, and it's building a sandcastle. What more do you want? So we run 13 rookies. 13 rookies in total. At level 4s, we run 11. And starting with the main man himself, this good old gorilla. 1 cost to Digivolve. 6 cost to play, sure. Not as bad as it would be these days because of how many people run tamers. So if you're on 3, they have a tamer down, you can hardcast this and it's not really an issue. But otherwise, that 1 cost Digivolve is massive just to excel your turn, because the fact you have access to Hammer Sparks and you have Gomamon for deletion on deletion game memory. You have all these different. You have just a varying ways just to try and extend your turn and be efficient as possible. So this card is really good. Blockers, we need them. There's no doubt about it. This deck doesn't thrive on just poke as quick as possible. Rookies, it's not rookie rush. It is a go tool deck and go to its win con. So blockers really help slow down your opponents. So things like rookie rush, things like purple, just to keep them in check whilst you're trying to do your thing. Because how this deck works is generally you're going to do your goal quicker than they would theirs. That's how you want it to be. And then 3 Garurumon. Garurumon on play, unsuspend one of your Digimon. Really good card. Comes in helpful against rookie rush matchups, for instance, if you swung up with everything and you just you want swing for the game. On play it because they've just puppet mon you, swing for game. You know, well, swing with whether you're in suspend for game, should I say. So it's really, really handy, and it also goes with another card that you'll see a bit later on. So we just run 3 of that there. So that's 11. At level 5s, we run 8. And we run 2 Zudamon. Really, really strong card. Can't undervalue this in any means whatsoever. I enjoy playing Megazoo and things like that, and if I had the 4th Omni, I'll be honest, I would have tried playing a bit more of a blue-red variant. Who knows, I might still do. There might be still ways around it, but it's just really good. On play, trigger draw 2. 7 cost and you get to draw 2 cards. Might seem like, okay, I'm only getting that for 7, but the fact it has an inheritable as well, it's not just any old card, you're actually getting something more for it. So you get an on play and you get an inheritable, which is if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards in play, gain 1 memory. And that's not once per turn. So if you have a way to underspend, you can then swing again, gain another memory. So it allows you to extend your turn again. On the flip side of things, not about extending your turn, but closing out the game, we're in 2 Garurumon. Now, as we all can see, Garurumon's my boy. You know, I've had this match since it started in Digimon, and it will be here for a good time to come. But decided I wanted to put him in a deck, but that was not the only reason, because his effect is good. If your opponent has a Digimon in play that has no Digivolution sources, then your opponent gains security attack +1. So it allows Omni, for example, Omni here to swing for 4 checks, because you would unsuspend, then swing in for an additional 2 checks. That is a lot of pressure to deal with. So that's why I've got it here as a 2 of. You could make it a 1 of and put an extra Zudamon if you wanted to. That part is flexible, but I wanted to go with a 2 and 2. And I mean, this card just looks so nice. Last but certainly not least, one of the big pieces, Monzimon at 4. Monzimon puts in so much work because it's a 5 cost, and it may be like, oh, but it's only a 6k body, but it doesn't matter about its body. You're not really attacking with level 5s in this. There's no reason for you to, because you are a go-tool deck. This allows you to just extend your board that much so and a bit quicker. If your opponent puts you on 3, you hard play, so you left them on 2. If you have a hammer spot, you can hard play this and then put them on 1. And if you've got a rookie there as well, you're in a position where it's like, okay, which one are they going to deal with first? What's going to be the problem? And this is going to lead to your problem because of where your end goal is. So it's a really, really strong card, and it's 2 to Digivolve as well. So not only is it cheap to play out, it's cheap to Digivolve on, which makes it severely good. So 8 level 5s. We're only running 7 level 6s. So this card needs no introduction. You will have seen it set 1. It did a lot of work. It dominated. Pleasure. 10 costs to play, 2 costs to Digivolve, so it's cheap vanilla to play. Cheap vanilla to Digivolve. Also, it's cheap to play for a level 6, obviously being 10. Just a really good card. Got a 12k body. Obviously now in this set where there's quite a lot of 12ks, sadly it can't just swing over them, because in set 1 it had more of a chance to swing over things like the War Grey, the other Metal Garus and things like that. But now it's kind of having to crash because of the lack of buffs in blue. But it's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. And we have ways to resolve that. But for level 6s, the last one, 3 Metal Garurumon. As you can see, you have the Garurumon there. So if you swing with this, when attacking, play 1 level 4 lower Digivolution card under this card as another Digimon without paying its memory cost. So you can play this out, get its on play effect, unsuspend it, swing again, play out the level 3 that's under it. You've got things like the Gobmon to get the on plays, but even if you don't get the on plays that way, you can just bring out another body to go that much wider, which is just strong. So run 7 of the level 6s there, and level 7, Ace Omni. He needs no introduction. I mean, we're about 2 sets away from masses of this guy. Not this particular one, but omnis upon omnis upon omnis upon omnis. So let's get used to the guy. And it's a really strong card. It's good for aggression, it's good for board control. Anybody goes too tall and doesn't go wide, this card punishes them. And then on the flip side, you've got the Alter S, which is anybody goes too wide, that card punishes them. So that's why Red Omni is a very dominant thing at the moment, just of what it has access to. But run 3 of it, purely because I don't have a 4th, and because I don't never want to run any less than that. You can't go any less than 3. That's my way of playing this, because this is Blue Omni. Blue Omni with Splash 1.5. Now this card here is something you would never expect to see in Blue Omni. Oh, lying to you. Of course you expect to see that in Blue Omni. What blue deck doesn't want to play Hammer Spark? 0 cost, gain a memory. Security check, gain 2. Where's the downside? There isn't one. It's just a good card. Just that. But this card, Blue Omni, is this card Blue Omni material? Let's see. We have to stop the fighting. We have to stop fighting, that's the one. I always add some more extra grammar in there. So it's 2 costs. Main, neither player's Digimon can be deleted in battle for the turn. So generally you use this in the circumstances whereas you have gone winnable, because it applies to all of the Digimon, yours and your opponents. You can't just crash into your opponents and they basically still live the same as you, so you really just wasted your time. You want to swing at the security and just keep living, and then your opponent's forced to deal with your board. It's the same strategy as what the Rookie Rush uses, but it's used more so in this because when it used to be a case in set 1, you'd swing with him at a Guru, and you play at the Garurumon, you'd restand. By the resolution of that, you've hit security and it's a 12k body. It's like, oh, okay, that was great. At least I restood. So this gives an out to things like that, or the Plesio dying to another 12k, because there's so many 12ks now. You almost have to try and avoid them. And with Blue having the access to Hammer Sparks and things like that to gain memory to use this freely, it's basically there as just a tech piece. It adds to the hand from securities. Obviously, it's not got a security effect, which is fine, I guess. You get it to add to hand so you have it stacked when you do need it. But it just allows you to push on those turns, and potentially with a large board because of how wide you can go with the rest of it, how cheap everything is. And obviously, just to make sure you've got the memory, 2 Davis. Near enough every deck now is playing in Tamers. The memory choke in Blue Omni isn't as big of a thing anymore. I think that's one reason it really didn't see much play this set, is because it generally just its whole tempo of putting you on 1 every turn got taken away from it, which was a very strong tactic, and it really grinded people down. When you try to do a turn, you've only got 1, it's like, oh, I can't really do anything. And it's like Gaia Force stuff, but it's like, I'm going to give you memory to go back up and do exactly what you were, and everything like that. So it was really took away from it. But at the same time, having access to things like Davis to give you an extra card in hand, so it's more draw power, and resetting you to 3, meaning you can extend your turns further, isn't necessarily a bad thing. And how efficient this deck and the goal and plan for it does make it out to be a strong deck. So I'm gonna show you some content of some of the games I had with it. So by all means, check that out. If you do like the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you know when my content goes live for you. And on the back of this, thank you for tuning into Gordo's Games. And always, let's get digital and let's get going.